As investors for President Trump's tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China that will take effect in just a few hours now. The Dow off 650 points, about a percentage and a half. The S&P 500 down 1.7%, and it's that index's worst day since December.
Farmers could also feel the fallout when those tariffs take effect. They're reliant on a specific imported ingredient for fertilizers.
And as Scripps News Group's Katie Tubman explains tonight, if farmers have to pay more for it, you probably will too.
New U.S. tariffs of 25% are set to go into effect Tuesday on many goods from Canada and Mexico. And President Trump says the U.S. will double its 10% universal tariff already in place on imports from China.
I'm not stopping the tariffs, no.
The new tariffs could massively impact American farmers due to their reliance on imported fertilizers. American farmers spent nearly $36 billion on fertilizers in 2023. That includes billions spent on potash, a key fertilizer ingredient. America imports 80% of its potash supply from Canada. Last month, the president of the American Farm Bureau Federation said in a statement, tariffs that increase fertilizer prices threaten to deliver another blow to the finances of farm families. And on Friday, he asked on X for President Trump to continue to look for ways to avoid imposing tariffs. Increased expenses on farmers could eventually mean higher prices for consumers, according to Colin Grabo, a tariffs and trade expert from the Cato Institute.
The majority will be felt on the American side. When we look at past tariffs that have been imposed, say, for example, under the first Trump administration, most studies found that there was substantial, if not complete, pass-through of the tariffs onto the consumer.
Canada, Mexico, and China are America's leading trading partners, and tariffs against them could cost the average U.S. household over $1,200 a year, according to an analysis from the Peterson Institute for International Economics. And Grabo says consumers could feel the impact soon.
I see no reason to think that a lot of these tariffs will be felt in fairly short order.
Katie Tubman, Scripps News Group, New York.
These tariffs will raise costs for Colorado farmers, but it's too difficult to know if that price will be passed directly onto consumers. And that's because farmers don't set their prices. Global markets determine what we pay at the grocery store. The increased cost of fertilizer will impact row crops like corn, wheat, and hay that's farmed primarily on the eastern plains. And I wanted to know how Colorado farmers are bracing for these tariffs. So I reached out to Chad Franke, president of the Rocky Mountain Farmers Union.
Uncertainty about the cost of their inputs. Machinery is another thing that we're not sure how it's going to affect the prices of what we pay for our equipment, but that's a possibility. Retaliation is another major issue. If these tariffs go into effect on Mexico and Canada, they're big trade partners of ours on the commodity side. So if they put retaliatory tariffs in place, ag products are likely going to feel that effect.
So Frankie tells me Colorado farmers are already financially suffering because of a federal funding freeze that left them holding the bag for tens of thousands of dollars in reimbursements for projects like irrigation systems. And federal layoffs of engineers have stalled projects farmers were depending on. He says this year could break family farms in Colorado.